Good morning, heart-led leaders, teachers, coaches, therapists, soul-led ones. I'm here, someone very special this morning, a woman named Laurel Pear. She's a conflict resolution coach, and she's currently enrolled in my RADIANCE program. She's in month 3, so she's going to share some of the life-changing experiences that she's had in the program and talk a little bit about how this somatic work fits into her life, fits into the other work that she's already been doing. So very exciting stuff. She'll be hopping on here in just a moment, so give her a moment here. There we go. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning, Laurel. I just gave a little introduction about you, but maybe you'd like to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Laurel. This is a picture of my brother behind me. Sometimes I try to position myself like this. I am, I guess, currently offering conflict resolution healing practices. And right now I'm specifically offering Ho'oponopono clearings.
Nice. Yeah, so I remember you telling me that then. Can you tell us a little bit about Ho'oponopono practice, what it's about?
Yeah, okay. So Ho'oponopono practice is basically a practice of peace and forgiveness and like a way to clear karma and intergenerational trauma that is passed down in our cellular memory from the people who come before us. And it's a really beautiful practice because it kind of cuts out, I feel, it cuts out the middleman of this whole spirituality practice to where it's kind of like a tool that you have that's really powerful because you're able to energetically clear trauma from the bottom, from your body, or deep seated beliefs from your subconscious mind, and basically reprogram yourself with like a more supportive belief so that you're not stuck thinking that you have no control over maybe things that you've been told to believe, or memories that you have that may not even be your memories, and things like that.
So would you describe it as a kind of an energy work?
Yeah, it is. It's energy work for sure.
And does it come from Hawaii?
Yeah, it's from I feel like the Huna belief system.
Wonderful. Yes, I'd heard about it before, but I had never met anybody who practiced it until I met you.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so I'm very privileged to be working with Laurel in my 6-month immersive somatic program, Radiance, Freedom Through Movement and Food. And right now, Laurel, you're on month 3. You've completed the 3-month intensive. And I would love for you to share some of your insights and some of your experiences about how this somatic work is supporting you and how you're growing with it. So first of all, I just want to ask, how did you feel drawn to this work? What was it about me and the 3-day event that you came to that something went on in your head and you said, this is something I need to do? What was it? What would you just say it was that sparked your interest?
Well, I feel like I have had access to some of the information that you've been teaching in the workshop as far as nutrition and diet goes, not the somatic movements. But I felt like I needed community and more practice embodying things, some things that I had already been doing. And then I feel like the Hannah somatic practice has been like just the missing piece that I needed to really like go from embedding information to embodying information so that I can actually use it.
Yeah, that's a great way to say that. Yeah, so sometimes we can collect all this information and it's really beautiful, wonderful information, but it doesn't necessarily like exist outside of thoughts and feelings we're not actually experiencing it in our bodies. Is that what you're saying? That somatic,
Yeah,
you experience it in your body?
yeah, exactly. And I just really like your teaching style and feel comfortable with you and learning from you and stuff like that. So I was like, yes, like I need to do this, and got some help with it. So I've been very lucky, I feel, to be enrolled in it.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. I've really appreciated you being part of the group. It's been awesome watching you develop and grow. Um, for the people who are not familiar with somatic movement, how would you describe it to somebody who had never heard of it before? What is it like or not like?
Okay. I feel like my favorite way to think about it now is it's like, okay, so it's not like pushing against your pain. It's the opposite of that. It's like inviting it in, because that's the quickest way to get through it.
Mm.
And I like to think of that image of a Chinese finger trap now,
Yeah.
that you just squeeze and release instead of like you're in it and you're like, oh my gosh, like, having a reaction to the reactions in your body, which is definitely a place where I can get stuck if I don't know what to do or I don't keep it all in perspective.
Right. So it's changing the way that you're responding to your body
Yeah.
and switching it from being like a reactive pulling or pushing away from your discomfort, and instead like kind of going closer in and helping to unwind it. Would that be also like another way to say it?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Lovely. Yeah, I love that. So um, I loved some of the things that you said the other day. What would you say you're getting from this practice? What do you feel like in your day-to-day life you're experiencing as a result of your regular practice of this movement technique?
I feel like I'm definitely experiencing more ease, and like I still kind of feel my conditioning come up around wanting to like push against and stuff, like just things throughout the day that maybe don't feel inviting, but I feel like using this practice to be with myself more comfortably in my body by releasing tension is helping me to learn how to use this as a lifestyle to really slow down and be like it feels a lot harder because I'm more relaxed in my body to be reactive to things that I don't have any control over.
Okay, yeah, because you've turned down the stress patterns in your body.
Exactly.
Talk about this a lot. The patterns, the muscular patterns that show up when we experience stress, they stay in our bodies. Like even stuff that happened like 10, 20 years ago, right? Like our body keeps that and holds that. And as you start releasing that, you're like less tethered to whatever reaction you had once upon a time to your world around you, and you can create something new. You can have a new way of being in your world in response to life.
Yeah, yeah, it's giving me the space to really explore that in my body and beyond all like the mental work that I've been doing.
Yes, because you've been doing so much of that. I mean, when we first met each other, I was just blown away by like all of the information that you hold. Like you really have just so much knowledge to share with people and so much inside of you. And it's like finding an easy flow for that to come out and come out in a way that's really grounded and clear. I feel like I'm seeing that more and more from you in the program. And it's just so exciting to see because I'm really I'm thrilled to think about where you're going to be in 6 months or a year from now in terms of what you're able to offer from this really grounded place in yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel it.
Totally. So we talked about this a little bit before the interview, but what would you say are like the three biggest takeaways from the program that you would say like these are the three major things that have like made the biggest impact?
Confidence, community, and choices.
Mm.
So I have more confidence to continue on this brand new journey and path that's before me. I've never done this before in a way where I have a cellular memory of what I'm doing, so it feels really new and awkward in my body. And so this is really helping me with to feel more confident. And then the community part, I feel like is really important to feel supported through your growth process and to be able to like be brutally honest about things that you're feeling in a way that's like not scary and it's nobody's gonna like get mad at you or whatever. um and then choices, I feel like, you know, having more of a pause in my body really helps me to keep it in perspective and see my choices, and especially when it comes to food.
Mm-hmm.
And having that conversation has been really helpful for me to keep in mind, the array of my choices instead of feeling like I need to be really strict with myself, which psychologically I would like to move away from.
Yes, yes, yes. Feeling like you have choices and that, you know, there may be some choices that are more helpful than others, but that you're not wrong for making whatever choice you make.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. Awesome. And then you've noticed some shift in how you feel mentally with somatics and also with the shift in your food. And I know you've already explored that before. What would you say is like the connection between how we eat, how we move, and how we feel?
Well, the microbiome, right? And that the vagus nerve right there, and the information that we're getting on a daily basis just directly from our gut to our brain. So I think that this class has really helped me bring fiber more into the picture and plant diets and understanding more what that means, because like I've told you before, like sometimes I'll eat something that I know is unhealthy, but I just don't care in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and also I just want it. And now instead of being like disciplining myself, I'm like, oh, what's a more supportive choice that I can make and just eat like beans and greens and something like one of the recipes that you shared with us that now I can just go to more easily.
Right, that we don't have to punish ourselves, that we can just pivot towards something that's more helpful, right?
Right.
And then that same piece with like how we're moving around in our bodies, like when we start to feel some discomfort or some, you know, difficulty in our bodies, we don't have to try to like, I guess, force it to be different, right? We can just kind of be with it and do something practical to help ourselves when we make the time for that, when we choose to lay down and do something to help ourselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely just like a more relaxed way of being in yourself, I would say, is what I'm seeing in you and what I've experienced through these practices too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it it is, it feels like the right, or like the right path to be on. Like I feel like I was already on the right path, but now it's like I'm way more relaxed on this new path, this new right path.
Yes, yes. And when we're relaxed, we feel in some ways more like ourselves. We feel like we're not, you know, I mean, some people feel like themselves under pressure, but when we're under pressure, sometimes we're making all kinds of like choices that have more to do with the pressure we're feeling than with our natural way of being or our normal thought processes, right? So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how this connects to your energy clearing practices. What have you noticed about being more in your body in this way and how it affects your energy work?
um well, I mean, again, I feel like to make real, like to make changes last, and be something that you can sustain after you make the change, you have to embody it. So you have to be able to go from that embedding process of learning to having it be in your body. So I feel like this is the key, or like the bridge between knowing what I know and really being able to live it. And
Mm,
yeah.
beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yeah. And then What would you say to somebody who was curious about this program, who like was wondering about whether they would get benefit from it? What would you say to someone who was thinking about joining the Radiance community?
I would say do it. I would say just do it. I mean, um, I think that it's so valuable to have this, I mean, the knowledge, but also like the experience of going through the movements that you've led us through and have been teaching us, which is like a lifelong practice to lower tension and release it. And I had no idea that this existed until I tried your free 3-day to Radiance program. And I was just like, wow, like if I can find a way to afford to do this, I'm going to do it.
And you found a way, and that was so awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's really true. Like, people don't know that this exists. I mean, doctors don't even know what to do with really tense, tight muscles besides cut into them, right? When things are, you know, so tight that people are having difficulty moving around, right? So I work with people who avoid surgery when they release the tension that's binding their joints and their muscles. So you're right, it's definitely a lifelong practice. And there's a quality I feel in this program of initiating you guys in this way of moving, because it's a motor skill that you'll now have for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
riding a bicycle or playing the trumpet or something.
Right. And it makes it less scary to like live life. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can handle it more now. I
Yes.
know
Oh,
what to
yes.
do.
Totally. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about how because I know you're starting to feel more adventurous in your body now that you have this tool to lower
Yes.
your tension and pain. You're not afraid to try new things. You want to tell us what you're trying, what the new stuff is you're discovering in your body?
Yes. Okay. So I am currently trying out to be a part-time isometrics fitness instructor, which I feel like I really like trying new things. So I feel like I've been drawn to this idea, but I don't think I would have ever done it had I not known that like what to do. And I like that a lot, even like with traveling or things like that. I feel like my soul's like I'm ready to keep moving forward and like try new things and have fun, and my brain's like, well, you know, I don't know. And so this is helping me with my brain and my body being more cohesive with the things that we want to do.
Yeah, yeah, feeling more freedom to just to choose something and not feel so hesitant or unsure, you know. And like you said before, this is such a great tool, because it gives you something practical you can do to avoid injury and to deal with, you know, tension and pain that might arise from doing something adventurous with your body. So it's almost like you can rest easy knowing that you have a way, you know, if you overdo it, to come out of that tension and that pain, that you might have created by, you know, whatever, mountain climbing or too much yoga or whatever people do, you know, that
Yeah.
causes potential injury and tension in their bodies.
Yeah. I would even say if you're not naturally an adventurous person, because like I feel like that's something I crave, but I spend a lot of time in my head
Mm-hmm.
instead. It even helps with that, to just come out of your head, and then the possibilities start to arise, and it is an exciting place to be for sure.
Cool. Yes, I love that. I felt that too when I got my connection, my somatic connection really solid from a daily practice. That's when I decided to start running. And I had tried running before and not been successful at it, meaning that it was painful and uncomfortable and it hurt my joints a lot to run. And I felt like I looked ridiculous. Like I thought I was like, oh God, this is kind of embarrassing. Like I don't run smoothly. Like there's something up with my gait, right? Like I kind of knew that in my early 20s. So I just didn't do it, you know, because it was a lot of trouble, really. And then when I tried doing it again after all of the somatic retraining that I did with myself, it was like a completely different experience. And that was just like, you know, opened me up to all these different possibilities of what I might be able to do with my body. Because I felt that connection. I felt that, you know, I'm doing what I'm thinking. If I imagine myself running and then I do it, like I'm doing it like I would imagine it being done. instead of,
Yeah.
I know what it looks like to run smoothly and I'm not experiencing that in my body, right? Instead of that.
Well, yeah, and that is what's so cool about the practices, because you have us visualize these little movements before we even do them. And so I feel like, yeah, like I could be a rock star now if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally. I could see you doing that. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, you're doing some pretty exciting work too this month, and you have a really awesome offering. Would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about where they can find you and what you're up to this month if they are curious about more about this forgiveness work and this energy clearing practice?
Yes, absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook under Laurel Pear, or Instagram on Laurel Pear Dreams, which is like the two places where I feel like I've been putting this information out there. And right now, my current offerings are that I am offering a 4-day overcoming fear course to create conscious change, or like, maybe be brave to try something new by clearing resistance and stuff like that. The 18th through the 21st of this month. And then I'm offering one-on-one and group Ho'oponopono clearings right now.
Excellent. And that's over Zoom?
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Where are you located? We usually say that at the beginning of the interview, but where are you located if anyone's in your area?
Okay. Yeah. Currently I'm in Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Nice. Wonderful. Yeah. So you can post a little link in the comments to this video if you have any more additional information about the 4-day event. That sounds really awesome. Overcoming fear and creating conscious change. That would be a really amazing thing for really anybody to do who's ready to step into a new experience in their lives. So
Yeah.
yeah, wonderful. Well, anything more you want to share about your experience with me, the program, or anything, any additional information?
I mean, just that this, I almost want to be like, I can't stress this enough, how much this has helped me with my stress and anxiety, to put myself out there in a more confident way. But it's been really helpful, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this community.
Excellent. Yes, you'll be a founding member of my program. I'm having one more, I believe this fall is going to be one more round that I will have people who join become founding members, which is going to have all kinds of lifelong benefits for joining and taking a chance in this program in its early years. So thank you so much for taking the leap and for doing the work. You have made so many amazing changes in your body and in your consciousness over the last 3 months. And I feel absolutely blessed to be able to, transmit this information and watch you develop and grow. And this is just the beginning.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yes. All right. Everybody out there, this was Laurel Pear. She's a conflict resolution coach and doing some really beautiful work. So definitely check out her Facebook page and her Instagram. Give her a follow if you're curious more about clearing energy from your body, from your heart, and from your, what would you say, like your, how would you describe it? Your karmic body?
I'd say like your ancestral lineage, but this is like really all happening at a cellular level. It's kind of like the future of I feel like neuroscience in some ways, as well as like cellular memory.
Yes. Okay. So clearing that, to deeply clear that stuff from your cellular memory. That's fantastic. That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Laurel. All right, everybody out there, hope you have a beautiful Lionsgate day, 8/8, the Egyptian New Year, right? And this is the beginning of Leo season, where we're being fully ourselves and letting it shine. So thank you for doing that with me this morning, Laurel.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.